Hey guys, so just another update. Um, Started in Pow Pow, Illinois this morning at a rest area, the crack of dawn. Drove through Illinois and then into Indiana. And when we got to Michigan, smooth sailing, basically all the way through. No fog. We had some fog the other day, and very hard to see. No rain so far, luckily, so that's been pretty good. So tarps, even though tarps ripped, the load didn't get wet because it hasn't been that downpour. It's been just moist out but not wet. So, and I travel in the right lane anyways, so any of the spray from the cars wasn't going on to the load because the load was the
rip was on the
passenger side
of the trailer.
So yeah, otherwise not too bad. Really tired though. Just all the problems is just added up, and it's just wearing me out completely. So I'm glad that it's all done and over with. So I'm tired. It's going kind of an okay day, and then we get to Michigan, and the stupid permit for Michigan doesn't guarantee their heights, and so we're going, and we had to go. What do you call it again? Ramping. We had to ramp a couple of overpasses.
Basically, ramping means that if the overpass is too low for what your load is, so for example, our load was 14.3, and say the overpass is 14, so you're 3 inches over what the overpass would be, then you would take the exit over the overpass and then back onto the highway, so you ramp upward, over, and then back down to avoid having to go underneath the overpass on the highway.
And shaving inches off your load, which is not good.
No, really?
So we had to ramp it, and we ramped a couple on the way over through. It wasn't that bad. They don't give warning signs here like in BC, and then a couple other states, if it's oversized, they give you a sign warning ahead of time so that you can take the ramp off and go around in these signs. If it's raining out really hard or if it's kind of foggy, you wouldn't know until it was almost too late. So it kind of sucks at that too. And then so we keep going, and there's a sign. It says 14.1, and I thought, okay, well, just ramp this one. I thought that was the one that was too low. And we get off, go across the street, come back down, and luckily I'm not going that fast. And I realize, and I say, oh my god, it's 14.1. What do we do? So I pull over on the side of the highway, just a few inches to spare because we're on an on-ramp and on-ramp to the highway. So people are speeding up beside me. It's kind of scary. So I call my dispatcher and say, I'm following the route to a dime of where I'm supposed to go, and there's a bridge here. It says 14.1.
And there was no exit for this bridge. It was actually a railway bridge, so there wasn't usually with overpasses, for the most part, there's an exit kind of attached to them, because generally an overpass is a way for cars to get across the highway, on or off the highway, etc. But this was a overpass for a train crossing, but so obviously there was no exit there, so he couldn't get off again once he had realized.
Yeah. So my dispatcher says, you know what, call this number, and then they're the people who take care of the permits, so call them, they'll give you a new route, and then give me a call back. So I call the permit guy, and he goes, oh, we've been having problems with Michigan because they don't guarantee any of their heights. They, I guess, do a vague check and don't check everything, so if they update it once, then they might not update it for a while. So maybe they forgot to take this one down or add it up, because it shows on my GPS, but it doesn't show on his side on the computer saying that there was a bridge there for 14.1. So he's like, I don't know what else to tell you. It kind of doesn't make sense either because he's a permit guy, so he should be able to tell me hey, you can go this way. So it just seems kind of a waste of money. Why have a permit if they can't guarantee you that any of your heights are going to be fine? I might as well just go blindly and go a certain way and just say, hey, good luck if you go. So he's like, well, I can suggest that you go a certain way, but I can't tell you that's what you should do. So he was like, can you drop your airbags? So I dropped the airbags and measured it out, and it should have been fine, but I had a few inches more on it because it drops from the rear and not from the front. So I decided to go really, really slowly over this, under this underpass, and the trucks are 60 mile an hour, and then the cars are 70 mile an hour. So they're all roaring by, and so I called my dispatcher back and tell him what's up, and he says, well, you know what, just put your four ways on. You're not doing anything illegal. You've got a nice fat bumper in the back, so if they hit you from behind, you're probably not going to feel it considering you're so heavy. He's like, don't worry about it. You're doing everything legal, so just go slowly, and good luck, and give me a call after you're done. So I go under the overpass. A couple of near misses, but kind of scary. But again, like I said, I'm pretty heavy too, so it probably wouldn't be too bad for me. I get going and I realize I'm like, oh man, I'm not gonna make it. So I drop my airbags on my tractor and wait for those to slowly seep down, and then I drive underneath and just make it by the hair of our chinny chin chins. So stressful. I've never felt so much stress in my life before. Even at going just a crawling speed, just the fact that if it didn't fit, and for whatever reasons it was just enough that it wasn't going to make it, what am I supposed to do now? Because now the cars behind me that are stopped, and I have just created the biggest traffic jam ever, because now I'm stuck and I have to wait for all these cars to try and back up. So
I'd have to call police for non-emergency or something, which I think at that point would probably be emergency.
Yeah.
To have a police escort to block off the traffic so that you can probably back up and turn around. Kind of scary.
And we were so close too. I was just like, this is the last thing I don't want, because we were really only
45 minutes?
Not even. It was 20 minutes away. We were just so close, and so we made it. I pulled off, put the air suspension back on my tractor, put the air suspension back on my trailer, and luckily this is a rental trailer. The last couple I had didn't have the dump on the tractor or on the trailers, so I'm kind of glad these ones are the nicer ones or the newer ones or whatever, so they have the dump and the air gauge on them, so I can see that they're empty and stuff like that. So he says, he's like, when you get close, it wouldn't even hurt to get on, take a look. Come on. I was like, okay. Fuck.
So basically
just squeezed under. carry on, get there, and I guess I got there just in the nick of time. The guy decided to go, who was going to unload me, go a different way home, back to the yard to drop off his truck, and he saw me with the stuff and figured that I was coming along with the stuff for the yard, because I mean, what other reason why would a truck come that way when considering the area? So I get there, he unloads me. It takes about an hour of our time, and it was all of us, me and Leslie are taking down the straps and the tarps, and the other guys are taking them down too, helping us out. And so yeah, we got lucky. We're really lucky. I'm really happy they were nice enough to come back, even though he was already gone. He could have just gone and said, screw these guys, I'll do them both tomorrow. But so he came back, and I'm happy about that. And so tomorrow we get to find something new. We'll hopefully find something new and see where our journey takes us to. I'm kind of excited because Leslie's with me, so I mean, anywhere new is a little more of a cool adventure, just like all these night drives that we used to do that we don't do anymore, that now we kind of do again because we're trucking.
We're trucking, really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
And Leslie,
I just thought this was a really, really long extended night drive.
Yeah. And Leslie, for once, actually did some work. She got dirt on her face, and she's used her work gloves, got dirty, and it was amazing. I just had to let everyone know, because Leslie just, when we're at home, just doesn't do anything kind of hard. She's very much I'm a feeble little girl, and doesn't do anything. So it was really nice to see her.
You're telling me what you never expect me to do stuff.
I know, right?
Damn it! Fail. Now I'm screwed.
Yeah, now you're screwed.
Mom and Dad, I didn't do anything. I swear, I was completely useless. I did nothing.
Pulled down straps, helped me pull down the tarps, folded all this stuff she folded my bungees together like a champ, and we put all the stuff away, and we even lifted a few heavy tarps and did the heave-ho over onto the trailer. It was awesome, and got a little dirt on her face. Clothes got dirty. Yeah. So what's your first unloading? What do you think of your unloading for the first time? Don't. The button's right there.
So basically, as I put on Facebook, there's a lot more that goes into detarping and debunging a load than one might think who doesn't do trucking. I have a lot more respect for people like Steven who do this stuff on the daily, because it's a lot of work. I mean, it's not by any means the hardest of work. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Take the tarps down, fold the tarps, collect the bungees, tie the bungees up, etc., etc. But it's heavy, and it's awkward, and it's dirty, and yeah, I have a lot more respect for them. But other than that, I don't know, it was cool. I felt kind of strange because there was like 4 guys plus Steven, and then there was me with her pink gloves and her pink headband, just helping along. But yeah, other than that, I don't know, it was cool. I'm excited that for the next thing. I'm hoping it's not oversized and gonna cause us headaches on headaches. I hope if it's oversized, at least it's in Canada, because Steven said that that's usually a lot easier. So if it has to be oversized, at least I don't have to be reading permits and getting headaches, because Steven has headaches, and I'm the smart one who reads permits and figures shit out, so he asks me to do it. And yeah, other than that, I don't really have much else to say. We went to Walmart and stocked up on our supplies, as you've seen. We went to McDonald's and had a sundae and a smoothie so we could use their Wi-Fi, because Steven's Steven's internet on his phone doesn't like to be shared on my phone for some reason in a lot of places. So that was nice. Got to update everything. Yeah. Gonna get into some not dirty clothes and lay down and relax for a bit, and then bedtime.